Prosecutor.
Carl Monday first exposed the allegations last month. Now he tells the mother's side of the story and talks to the woman who brought the allegations to light, the little girl's foster mom.
Did you or did you not do it?
No, I did not.
You didn't prostitute your daughter?
Never, no.
Despite her denials, a grand jury will soon hear testimony that Debonisha Wright prostituted her own daughter, who was only 4 years old at the time.
Are you saying your daughter's lying about all this?
Yes, she is.
But the girl we call Latonya, now 8 years old, stands behind her story in adult-supervised interviews with Channel 3 News and East Cleveland Police.
My mother's let me sleep with men.
Your mommy made you sleep with men? Why did she do that?
Because she wanted to make some money.
I love my boo-boo. I love my boo-boo.
The allegations first surfaced 10 months ago after this woman, Pat Washington, Latonya's foster mom, made a phone call.
So I called 696 Kids and explained to them what she had said.
Washington says Latonya told her that Latonya's mom staged sexually explicit dances for grown men inside this East Cleveland home. Dances that featured young teenage girls and 4-year-old Latonya.
She said that she would get on the table and dance. They would put money in her underwear. If they wanted to go to bed with her, they would go and talk to her mother, pay her mother, and then they would come and get her and take her to her mother's room.
The young girl has been examined at least twice for possible sexual abuse. The test results are confidential, but Fred McCullough swears his daughter never abused the little girl.
I can guarantee you, my daughter did not. I guarantee you that she did not prostitute her kid. She didn't do anything. She loves her kids. She loves them.
But just this past week, Debonisha was in juvenile court where she pleaded guilty to neglect of Latonya and her 2 other children, unrelated to the prostitution allegations.
The court will accept the admission and find a neglect as it relates to the mother.
2 years ago, the children had been placed in the temporary custody of their grandmother, Millerine Clark, after Debonisha was first found guilty of abuse and neglect. But the grandmother turned the kids back to their mother without ever telling Children's Services. While in mom's custody, Latonya accidentally ignited an M80 and blew off several of her fingers.
And your client is not here today?
That is correct.
The grandmother was not at the recent hearing, but like mom, her attorney pleaded guilty on her behalf to charges of neglect.
Are you pleased with the way this thing's turned out? I'm pleased that we got an adjudication today.
With the guilty verdict, the county is hoping to gain permanent custody of Latonya and her brother and sister. But her mom, who recently did time for drug charges, wants her daughter back.
Why do you want custody again?
Because that's what you mean, why do I want custody?
Don't you think you put the baby in danger?
No, I do not. Excuse me.
You're somebody that devotes your life to taking care of kids, and you hear something like this going on. What do you think?
I think it's horrible. I think it's horrible. It's unbelievable.
Pat Washington has been Latonya's foster mom for about a year now. She says the emotional scars have been slow to heal. For instance, when someone would ask Latonya,
"What you want to be when you grow up?" she would say, "A prostitute like my mother."
She really said that?
That's what she would tell everyone. And she would say, and if they said, "Well, why?" Because that's what she was teaching me to be.
For the record, Debonisha Wright has never been charged with prostitution. And in spite of her daughter's allegations, she asked us to pass this message to Latonya.
My daughter knows I love her very much.
You love her?
Yes, I do.
Slowly, Latonya is getting her life back together under the care of her foster mom, who has training in handling children with special physical and emotional needs. Latonya is busy being a young girl again, attending church and school, making friends, and looking to the future.
Now she's heading down the right path. So I feel like if she can continue the way she's going, that she can become anything she wants to be, really. Because she's a very smart little girl.
Latonya has told her foster mom that her real mom forced her to shoplift at grocery stores. And instead of a glass of milk before bedtime, she says she was often given a glass of wine. All this at the age of 4 years old.
And Carl, when you first did this story, I got a ton of emails, negative ones from people who were just so upset about this child. What's going to happen to her? What happens next, and who's going to get custody?
Well, there's one more hearing, and the judge at that time will decide if the child and her brother and sister go back to the county and are adopted out, or perhaps go to a family member, maybe even the mom who abused and neglected them. It's a possibility.
Well, a lot of people in the community are paying very close attention to this, Carl, and you'll follow the story?
Will do.
All right. Thank you.